Every time I can see that graphic, I get hype, and of course, especially hype now for today's game. exceL versus Vitality. As we check in on the Rift. Anytime there's an Olaf, I've always got my eyes on the early game, because we've seen what can happen across regions, seasons, patches. Anytime an Olaf gets ahead, people have to be terrified.
I feel it.
Yeah, all right.
I felt like this match coming into predictions, it was going to be a coin flip. You heard it from Vetty and Ender. Everyone seems split. Who's actually going to win this one? But again, focusing in on the game, I want to take a look at Mickey, particularly on this Azir. It feels like Mickey was kind of the first variable that exceL really introduced to try to get this roster up and running. And unfortunately, he just hasn't had the time really to adjust to the LEC or to showcase us anything. So by running the teleport in particular, Mickey is so responsible for never losing mid priority here for Caedral to be effective on this Olaf. But having TP, yeah, he can use that to cheat some backs, but it also means he needs to be so careful to the 2v2 gank pressure that can come out of Sylas as well as Jarvan. Not as strong as it once was, but if he ever burns his flash, Azir basically loses most of his kit because he likes to be forward pressing his advantage.
And a high pressure situation to be in, of course, two rather unfortunate games last week for Mickey, but this week it could be a different story. Confidence from Jactroll, just going to walk forward here. A lot of auto attacks. Really got to be careful there. The Taric walking to melee range already. A level 2 gank coming in from Mowgli. The flash out from Mickey. That's right what you were talking about.
What did I say? As soon as Azir loses his flash, he loses so much teeth, so much bite in this matchup. Because again, he wants to be forward, just like Jace, to really abuse the potential of his kit. And now it's so much more dangerous to do that.
I'm just surprised. Mowgli going for the snap level 2 gank. Not something we very frequently see in competitive, but not costing him too much either. A bit of a deficit in the jungle. Olaf was always going to out-clear here. Very powerful clear speed for Caedral. As he takes away those Krugs for the level 3 pathing. Does he show himself on the bot side of the map? That's my big question.
I think he can just power farm at this point. He knows that his mid laner has just lost flash, so I think Caedral's just trying to recalculate what his options are.
They have to look more towards that mid lane. And Attila and Jactroll doing kind of what is expected with a Varus on the bottom side of the map. I like this. They're not giving up. They're not getting over-aggressive, but they're playing aggressive enough to make it difficult for the Sona and the Taric to farm up. Don't want to give Sona those free stacks.
And again, Varus is one of those champions that when he does get people shoved underneath the tower, he can actually punish them. Unlike the likes of Sivir, who just kind of approaches the tower and then maybe can whittle away. She gets a couple of W bounces underneath. Varus can really start chunking people.
And you see it already in the trade pattern. A couple autos, quick hail of arrows just to proc that. Incredibly impressive bot lane to play against, but we always knew that this was not going to be a Sona Taric favored early game. However, the battle of the junglers might be interesting. Caedral actually going to back off here. There's a lot of immediate burst damage in the back pocket of that J4, so you do have to be careful. And Jiizuké with priority in mid lane means Caedral will not take the risk.
I also think that's a potential for Vitality to secure both Scuttle Crabs on both top and bottom. And with the positioning of both Kennen, Tahm, Kench, and Varus, that means so much that you can create that safety net in the river to allow these champions to really exploit the side lanes.
And normally when we see Vitality compositions, we expect it to be all about topside, and it definitely feels like it can be that way, but literally all 3 of Vitality's lanes have push priority right now. They're in such a fantastic position.
Yeah, so there you go. You can see Mowgli on your screen. He took top Scuttle, he went back for his Raptor camp, and then he walked across the back of mid lane and will now get bottom Scuttle. Big win for Mowgli.
And he got the level 2 game. Mowgli getting so much out of this early game. And sadly for Caedral, he just has not been relevant on the map quite yet. Maybe that changes. He is going back for first items. We'll see what he does want to rush. No Predator for the Olaf. It is Flash and Conqueror, so something a little bit different here.
Again, if you know Mowgli's going to walk into your jungle, be ready to fight him.
Yeah, I mean, challenging Smite as well, so definitely giving a lot of respect to the dual potential here.
Also makes his team fights really strong, and it is a Sona Taric Azir composition at its core.
Very true. The Olaf running at you with a Taric ult and a Taric stun, kind of the icing on the terrifying cake.
I think it's the Taric ultimate on top of the Olaf sprinting at you. That's really the terrifying thing.
Ugh.
Caedral here is just to make sure that Mickey can get this push into the tower in case Jarvan does show up. He's ready for the 2v2, which is why he was standing in Fog of War just behind Mickey.
I like that he has that knowledge, something that he had to have practiced, knowing exactly where the creep wave was going to spot him, knowing that relative creep vision range. An important skill to remain undetected. Expect finally able to push the lane back out, though, now that he's level 5. A little bit more wave clear, a little bit more points in Cole the Meek. Meanwhile, in bot lane, the important thing we always have to track in Sona lanes is how quickly she's stacking, in this case, the Frostfang. And Jeskla doing a lot better now that he's been able to back off, has a few more health pots, and we'll kind of just sit cozy in this lane.
I also think we need to kind of reevaluate Sona's power windows in terms of when she actually starts hitting really hard, especially for how quickly games are going in the LEC. Basically, as soon as the Sheen is completed, while it's not the same power spike as like the Lich Bane as well as the Archangel's increased, Sona still does a ton of damage. Just because you're missing a traditional marksman doesn't mean that you lack firepower in team fights.
No, absolutely not. And the power of the crescendo is absolutely terrifying. And the additional sustain on so many champions with built-in healing already, that's the Olaf and the Renekton, can be quite frustrating to deal with. Varus, though, one of the few champions with grievous wounds in the kit, so at least a small positive interaction there in the lane phase and the potential team fights to come.
As long as he stays alive, he still is dealing with the fact that Caedral and Mickey will cause a lot of hell for him, and then you put expect on top of it. Attila needs to be on point for these team fights.
Oh, and you can see the bait there. Expect getting the better end of the trade. If Cabo wanted to win, he had to extend it, and he did so.
Yeah, I don't know about Cabochard. I've eaten alligator before. It's not delicious. That is not worth the bite.
Well, I was going to say it's more the giant, scary, angry Viking.
And the texture, it's awful.
Okay. We'll cut this part from the broadcast we send to PETA. No, they don't need to hear about your free time habits. And Frostgurn, I feel like Mowgli got that one play, and otherwise it hasn't been too crazy of an active game. But now I think things are going to change. We've got a Glacial Augment Tahm Kench. He's going to waddle his way out of that bush any moment now. But look at this. They're giving it, there he goes.
Look at him go.
Here comes the Emperor, baby. Here comes. Okay.
That was the
here he comes.
Car chase I've ever seen.
He's still on the way. Hit the tongue lash.
Got the flash.
Got him. And now
here we go.
The lane, of course, frozen. So there's just the rinse and repeat option here.
You guys know. Come on, Jeskla, Mystiques.
But the flash has been burned. That's a cheeky walk up to that bush there, Jeskla. I don't know if you're going to survive, but Mowgli now spotted on the vision. Means they'll have perfect knowledge of where he is and what he's doing. So Caedral gets to respond on the top side, farming up, getting a level advantage. Level 6 for Caedral, level 5 for Mowgli. Maybe that changes as the red buff goes down. You can see Jiizuké making good use of the lane pressure. Ooh. Oh! No.
Close. I was curious what they were going to do with the information. So by seeing that Mowgli went for the red, obviously exceL knew what the heads up was. They tried to steal it away from the Sona. I was curious if that meant that Caedral would try to make a dive happen in the top lane, but instead he is backed and he is sprinting back towards this bottom lane while Vitality are setting up for a potential dive, pulling Sylas down.
And one of the most infuriating things about playing against Sylas Frostgurn is when he gets to be level 6 and you don't, and he takes an ult that you don't even have access to yet. The Sona ult and the Taric ult could both be incredible in the event they want to go for a dive.
I think the big dissuasion here is not just the fact that Azir started to walk down and you don't have information of Caedral, but there's so many teleports in this game. If you ever mess up a dive, everyone and their mother will appear in that bot lane.
Oh no.
When my mom shows up, it's not good.
God bless. Oh, Frostgurn. Familial trouble. How classic. For now, waiting for level 6. It is the Sona Taric waiting room on the side of exceL. Those champions will be relevant. They will be terrifying, but not right now. That's done not even remotely going the right way to hit the primary target. Mowgli's still going to move forward. Now leaping in. Mystiques flashes out to save you. Jactroll to save the day. Clean engage from the side of Vitality.
Yeah, beautifully done. MVP there to that ward that they've placed into the brush to make sure that Mowgli can get down there. But here comes Caedral with a... Did you get ganked or are you getting ganked? He's getting ganked.
He's getting ganked. The flash over the wall. And of course, you expect to fall behind a little bit in the Sona Taric lane, but Frostgurn, after that kill, it is already a 2k gold deficit for the side of exceL. That is an incredibly difficult spot to be in. The difference between the bot lane alone. Tahm Kench has more gold than the Taric. The Taric is the one CSing.
And unfortunately, to put the spotlight on exceL's coach, coming into this, he had confidence that his team was ready, that subbing in Jeskla and Mystiques, that they felt comfortable in a lot of the current meta matchups. Sure. And so while Sona and Taric, not necessarily the strongest laners, especially against the likes of Varus, Kench, you never want to lose this hard.
Absolutely not. We'll see if that changes as more stacks do come through. The Varus TPing back to bot lane to sustain the pressure. Tongue Lash comes out but will not connect. And what he said was, we're trying to find the best way for our team to win. But when you're 0-4, I really feel like it's find any way for your team to win. And hopefully that this Sona Taric is the answer. But the early game, not there. The combos on the side of Vitality, very clearly there, however.
Yeah, great synergy, and finally some attention given to Jactroll and Attila for the Vitality show. It's basically been Mowgli holding Cabochard's hand, but a very different look this time around.
Yeah, and Mowgli, of course, when you look at it, has not had the best split thus far. A lot of deaths in the early game. kind of getting caught out. It always felt like something was falling apart for Vitality, and Mowgli always had to try to make a play on the map. 36.14 percentage. I'd say relatively high. Overall, you can see second counter jungle percentage, third. So very much keeping to his signature play style, but it just hasn't been as effective. This game, however, does really feel like a different story.
I do like this play that Vitality are currently setting up, though, having Jactroll on the back, looking topside, and he can bring Mowgli or go in.
Going forward. Expect now needs to dash his way out. Double dash is going to come through. 1 and 2. Getting a little bit extra healing on the Cold Meek. The flash out to safety now brought back by the Tahm. Kench that Devour. Such a huge piece of CC there. Expect gets taken down by Cabochard.
Beautifully done, and Attila just in time has also rotated up. You see the ping go down to the Rift Herald. It's a 2-for-1.
Vitality absolutely outplaying here in the early game, maneuvering around the map better, using their lane pressure better, and now building towards a 3K gold lead, 2.5 plus a Rift Herald. This is only going to continue to grow as Kennen is in the top side of the map, getting tower plates for himself. Beautiful start to the game for Vitality.
And this is exactly what Vitality need to do. They need to use things like the Rift Herald to get these early game gold into their pockets, because their champions spike really hard on 1 and 2 items. Whereas again, you're against the clock and the timer for exceL's composition. Eventually, exceL can outscale, but if Vitality can springboard themselves ahead of the clock, ahead of Vitality, where they make a large enough gold difference, they can end this game before exceL even get to put up a fight.
And to me, the early game power, so much of it was supposed to come from Caedral, usually the standout member on this exceL lineup, but just has not been able to do anything this game. Barely ahead in CS, has not been able to make really any plays whatsoever, forced to flash out, and sad to see an Olaf not find that effectiveness in the early game.
Looking back at this gank, pretty straightforward. I do want to credit the macro rotations from Vitality to recognize when they had a reset and what to do with the reset. They made the play happen down bottom, they then quickly made their backs and then immediately sent their bot lane up towards the top side of the map, realizing that Rift Herald and the kill top was worth more than the Cloud Dragon.
And now I want to see what they do with that Rift Herald Frostguard. Are they going to go into mid lane and try to break that open? You can see Sona and Taric making their homes there for now. Good news for the side of exceL and exceL fans is that the Sona does now have the Spell Thief's Edge upgraded. We'll be able to start CSing, putting more and more gold into her pocket, building towards that Sheen, a bit more damage for herself as well, but I don't think the mid lane tower is going to be safe for that much longer.
And also, exceL need to be very careful if anyone stands under this. The fact that they pulled Cabochard since he had rotation means that they could look for a dive if they're feeling frisky.
I'm trying to push for it. Cabochard is backing off, has already used the Lightning Rush, no flash either. So will just retreat. And interestingly enough, both mid laners now off to the side lanes. Vitality just chipping away. Will not be able to break anything, however, in the end, so maybe not the ideal usage, but a good bit of tower plate. And Capo now might just walk this Renekton down.
Mowgli sprinting at them. This is about to be a 2v1.
Expect one dash away. I think he hit the creep, can refresh. Does he have the usage? Not quite yet. It's just going to go in and get taken out immediately. Wanted to use the Cold Meek for healing, but the stun is going to stop it. Mickey now trying to make the big play. Jeskla on the way in with the Sona. That's going to be big. Is it going to be enough? However, Tahm Kench on the way up. Cabochard sets the fall. They just barely get him. Varus is here for backup. He's going to grab the kill as well. The sidestep from Jeskla. So clean, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Flag and drag. Where's it going to go? Zanya's perfect timing window. Are they going to take it? Jactroll tanking, well coordinated by Vitality. A clean dive and a 2-for-1.
And exceL lose so much there because Jiizuké also on the bottom side of the map gets to push down that entire tower. They're getting plates into the top side. It's just chip damage in the mid lane for exceL back in their pockets.
Ooh. An incredibly difficult situation for exceL. We expected this to be a much closer game. You talked about it being a coin flip. It could go either way depending on which team shows up today. And right now, Vitality are the team that are showing up. 5K difference, 14 minutes into the game. This is a dominance from Vitality we have not seen in, what, 120 days now at this point?
And credit to Jactroll and Mowgli. Right place, right time, every single time. It's Jactroll especially getting those rotations, using the Abyssal Voyage, and matching so many TPs in this game.
Good look overall, especially for part of the map that we were highlighting as a weakness. The dominance that they've shown in the early game, putting some faith back into Vitality fans, and rightfully so in this case. We check in across the board, however, those first items are coming in Frostguard, so Vitality just very strong overall.
Oh yeah, give me the nice angle. Give Vitality fans some life here.
And there's not a lot you can do. Kennen will walk you down, so you're kind of forced to all-in, use the ult there, use both dashes. Can't make it out of that one. You can see maybe we had enough healing with Cold Meek to survive for a few extra seconds. Sona ult coming in as well. With the Taric ult, you can see we saw Rogue do it successfully. Now everybody wants to do it, but while they do grab that single kill, it's a bit unfortunate in the end.
Yeah, the turnaround, again, fancy footwork from Jeskla. Do want to credit that. Good mechanical showing, but unfortunately, sitting duck under a tower.
And it was so close to being a highlight moment. If Renekton lives for 2 more seconds, if he's not CC'd, he gets a bit of healing. Sona comes in with the Taric ulti attached, It could have been that rogue highlight all over again for exceL, but minor execution error, and when you commit both TPs and it goes wrong, ugh, that is a deficit to crawl back from.
But we're now at a 5k gold difference between them, and again, Vitality's composition really strong on 1 and 2 items. I want to highlight Kennen's items in particular. The fact that he is that close, does have access to the stopwatch, but almost has the hourglass. As soon as he does, like, team fight city from Vitality. They will go toe-to-toe with exceL's composition.
And honestly, a perfect spot to be. Mickey might not even get a chance to go to Teamfight City. He's just going to have to go back to the fountain here in a second. The flash not going to be enough. Dragging himself out with the shifting chance. Mowgli trying to walk him down, but that's a lot of damage being fired back. Mystiques flashing over the wall. Mowgli in the midst of no man's land, and suddenly the fight is starting to turn. Jiizuké, not a lot left. Uses the stolen Caedral, but Cabo in the midst of everything, and that's a meat grinder right there. Vitality with the turn on the back of Cabochard.
Late to the party, but better than never right there. Unfortunately, they don't have the Baron to immediately turn to it. Still only 16 minutes in this game, but you can see how confident Vitality are, how they know that they're strong, and they're starting to shove exceL around.
And then this Alienware replay, we can watch it one more time.
Starts out with a good pick. I have to be frank, Mickey just should not be there. There's no reason, they don't have any control of that. That is definitely their weak side of the map. The wave is pushed in, you don't have any vision control. He wanted to check, he thought he was safe. He was very, very wrong.
And there's that moment where you group up, folks, for that Taric ultimate, and you think, ah, we've saved our team. There's also that moment where the Kennen sees you all group up for the Taric ultimate and says, 2 seconds, 1 second, team fight win.
Delicious.
Oof.
There's that hourglass now completed. Cabochard says, thank you, I'll see you in the next team fight.
God, it only gets harder from here. I like the Vitality are willing to go. I like their use of Sona and Taric. Clearly looks like a practice strategy. They've got the timings down pretty well, but they're just in so much of a deficit. They're actually, when a Kennen is ahead like this, it feels so impossible to play any kind of grouped exchange.
And, you know, I can see what exceL were thinking. You know, banning Sejuani from blue side because they know that they priority pick Sejuani, that Mowgli will probably go Olaf, maybe even the Trundle that we've seen globally, and they can punish in the jungle. So, like, okay, we're against Vitality, we're against Mowgli, let's get Caedral something like the Olaf. We're against Attila and Jactroll. These guys have been really suffering in the bot lane. We can probably get away with Sona Kench, Sona Taric if need be. And it's just great that Vitality seems to have finally found their form, that they didn't lose the bot lane. They knew exactly where they needed to play around. They got so much gold into their pockets, and they look so much cleaner across the board. Like, exceL's game plan, I totally agree with it. It just didn't execute for them.
Yeah, paper perfect, but definitely not perfect on the day or on the Rift. Has been a struggle thus far. Gold League going to continue to grow 9K for Vitality, grabbing a Cloud Drake as well to balance things out. Jiizuké with a stolen and much more powerful Sona ult than the one that Jeskla has. Cabochard might be able to 2v1, but is not going to push for anything else here. Just waiting to see if he has the opportunity. Attila and Jactroll pushing up the mid lane, have a bit of pressure. And it's hard for me to know what to take from this game as we see everyone pushing in across the map. Frostcorn, is this like a revitalized Vitality? Is exceL just at the bottom of the table? What does this actually mean for our league?
I'll hold it though.
Yeah, here comes the redemption, now being taken away. Jiizuké going to heal up a decent amount. Expect trying to chase him down, but Mowgli behind. They want to run in. Stun now going to connect there. Backing off, actually hits a creep in the end. Oh no, Jactroll right into the middle of everyone. Well, they wanted to eat some fish. They definitely got it. Shut down. Tragic play there. Vitality were not ready for that one.
Yeah, exceL finally able to close the trap. That said, in the long run, yeah, exceL do get the kill onto Tahm Kench, but they expended so many ultimates, and so kind of in the immediate future, if Vitality do want to press their luck, they still have access to things like the Cataclysm as well as Cabochard's ultimate that you can really punish while that Sona ult and Taric ultimate are down. So there is a small window here where if exceL are caught out of position and Vitality do want to force the fight, it could be a big swing.
Yeah, it's an opportunity, and that is the silver lining on this cloud. But for Vitality, we take a look back at this one, and I think these are the moments for Jiizuké I love where he's dueling in the side lane. It takes a lot of help from Jactroll here. He saves Jiizuké, he uses the redemption, and then sadly, in the end, he also pays the iron price for trying to help his teammate here.
Yeah, the immediate turn onto Kench, but like we said, so many ultimates, and both teams know this. They know that their cooldowns are down, so exceL do want to play a little bit closer to the chest, a little bit safer, which is why in situations like this, it's kind of like the hit and run. You don't want to overextend, but it also means that they need to stay next to their towers. They're not looking to get picked off, which they could lose control over the vision, which you're starting to see Vitality do. Hey, exceL can approach, they don't have the necessary cooldowns. Let's make sure that we can get vision control over the Baron. So you're starting to see their jungle getting littered with wards.
And I like this because this is the kind of fundamental League of Legends we felt like was lacking from Vitality. So many individual mistakes in early to mid game kind of stopped them from ever getting to showcase clean, standard, vision-focused play where it's about lane priority, where it's about laying down these wards. And now we do get to see a bit of that. However, as the recalls come out, Caedral is able to move in and take out some of this vision.
Because it's still the same old Vitality, and there are still holes in some of their gameplay. You know, it's still not the cleanest, but at least feels much better for Vitality fans to see some hope, some life in the squad.
Yeah. 8K place, still absolutely a Vitality commanded game. Baron kind of the question, the ultimate opportunity to break the base for the Vitality side.
Checking in on itemization, however, Vitality, again, this is kind of one of their big power points. exceL have just started to complete their first item, now moving into 1.5, looking for 2, but it's still quite a ways away. They need to survive maybe 10 more minutes in this game before they can really find a foot back into the match.
Vitality. Jiizuké realizing that he's caught between a rock and a hard place, or a bird and a crocodile. The new version of the saying goes.
They started Baron.
They can just, they can't just clear this one out. How much time are they going to spend? Jiizuké now throwing out the Emperor's Divide. Anything you can do, I could do better, he says, as the Baron is dropping, but exceL, no.
It's double teleport, however, so both Expect and Mickey can TP to this, which is why Vitality, okay, we lost the interest in Jiizuké. We need them to bite again.
Jiizuké, well, will complete the back there. Mickey going to put down a little bit of pressure. Now set up to take that bottom tier 1 tower. Jiizuké, I think, unlikely to use his TP to try and save it. Vitality with complete vision control of the pit, but exceL getting mid lane prio means they will need to respond to that. Now we're engaging in the Baron dance portion of the game. My favorite part of the game, Frostgren, but a bit unfortunate that Vitality were not able to get anything on the back end of that play.
But if Vitality actually gets stalled out in this mid game by getting caught here.
Hold that thought, Attila throwing it out and then walking away. Will be okay there in the play. Now retreating, has the Merc Treads. Tenacity doing them a lot of good in that exchange.
But again, the onus is on Vitality that they need to make the plays because they're still on that timer. And again, if they get stalled out in this mid game, setting up around Baron, exceL could come back into this game with their scaling.
Oh, Cabo just going to chase him down. Spotted on the ward, caught shopping. Mickey now in trouble. Is he going to go down here so incredibly low? One more auto is going to do it. Cabo takes it away. Vitality now set up to take control of the bottom side of the map.
Jactroll just there for the moral support. Obviously, if everyone showed up, he'd be able to gobble up Cabochard and take him back to safety.
Mystiques now trying to hold the wave as well. Even Mowgli is pressuring out here. That bottom tier 2 set to fall. Mowgli unconcerned about the duo, knowing that that ultimate is not available for the Sona. Zasheen just now coming through, so once again, time against exceL.
And this is the big thing about whenever Mickey gets caught. He's their safest iteration of wave clear because Sona and Taric really need to be on top of the wave since they don't have a traditional marksman. So anytime Mickey is out of position, it's so much more punishing for exceL because they really rely on Azir to stall out this game.
Speaking of out of position, Jiizuké caught out there. We'll take a bit of a chunk, but I mean, it's difficult because once again, if this team comes into the mid game even, Frostgren, it's just so incredibly powerful. But when you're behind like this, Sona does not play great from behind. You are going to have to give up so much more. This gold lead will continue to extend. But Sona's power is still, of course, legendary, something that the gold lead may not always show you.
I mean, she's finally got the items that she needed to do damage, which was the completed Archangels and now the Sheen.
But as we take a look at this ProView replay, riot.com/ProView, check it out, we can see that in the view of Cabochard, this was pretty free. Yeah, he just got to walk that one down. Did have to commit the flash, but you can see even now just a very few words shared there.
It's another critical mistake from Mickey. That's twice now that he's died, and it's been the big swing of power in Vitality's pockets.
To be fair to Mickey, a lot of the power was already there for Vitality, but this has definitely made it go from bad to worse. exceL now setting up around the Baron. The Desperation Baron coming through. This is a twist. Control ward will come out and we'll stop it in its tracks, but I like that exceL are fishing for those opportunities, Frostgren.
Yeah, because if it's not warded, then you get the free Baron. They had other members there. It's one of the powers of having a likes of Azir. You can just kind of walk up to it. So I like the look. I like better the respect that they realized it wasn't going to work and immediately got off of it.
Risk it all on a 24-minute Baron call. Please, Frostgren. It's my favorite thing to watch. exceL, God, they're playing the long game. So ultimately, exceL, their job is to stall. They're stalling. Vitality, their job is to close the game before this comp gets out of control.
But are they closing?
No, they're not closing, Frostgren.
They're trying. They're trying to get top priority and mid priority.
How's that going?
Well, they got it. Woo! They're placed in vision.
Run it down for me. Give me the checklist.
Two really good wards, however, that thank you, observers, for showcasing. The Baron ward as well as the entrance, which you can see that Jactroll smelled something fishy, so he placed the control ward outside the pit.
Clever. But of course, they're using the trinket as well, so they think/know the Baron was started.
But now everything is dead. All of the vision is gone. They don't have any more blue trinkets. exceL now need to check with their faces.
Mystiques throws the control ward over the wall. This is a game of hide and seek. It is literally just throwing down bits of vision to see who can see who. But no one wants to commit to the fight. Cabo's not there. Remember, he is the strong member of the team. There is no team fighting without Cabochard at this point in the game.
But he has TP. Vitality just decided that they were close enough to items, so they took their back, even though they're probably going to lose a lot of their vision and setup they had over Baron, but they're just waiting, okay, we're going to have to get into a position where we force this Baron, so let's grab our last items, let's restock on our control wards, shove back priority, and then I actually expect Vitality to finally pull the trigger here.
Well, there's that mid priority. Sylas is pushing top. Kennen is backing, ready to TP in at a moment's notice.
I actually think he's going to walk towards the Baron pit.
I like it. Expecting Mystiques getting what they can. Taric potentially caught out. Flag and drag. The knockup is there. Tahm Kench looking for the follow-up. The flash over the wall.
Look at that ward right in the middle of your screen that expect are all stepping on. That means that Kennen can TP to it. You can see him sitting in base, waiting.
Oh, man. They're going to feel so bad about that control ward placement after this one. Eyes on Cabochard. He's debating. He's waiting. He's taking his time. I think they just got to start it. They've got a Kennen who can just flank TP instantly. He's going back to the base. He wants the home guards. He says, okay, we're kicking it off. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Jiizuké on the front line has the Taric ultimate. Can keep his team safe.
He's on a timer. That ward behind them is about to expire.
A little bit of time, though. Now the flag and drag forward. Where's he going to TP into the flag? As predicted, Jiizuké in the midst of everyone going to use the Taric ultimate. Going to be invulnerable. Taric wants to respond with something of his own, but here comes Cabochard. A beautiful push away from the Azir. Buys a bit of time. Mickey now invulnerable. Cabo in no man's land. Forced to go golden. The Taric and the Sona are surviving for now. Taric already dead. Azir alive. Jiizuké uses the stolen ultimate and will take the kill. Caedral running for the hills. Mickey trying to use the turret to keep himself safe. Backing off now as Redemption comes out. Looks like Vitality will be able to turn away. Can they take the Baron? They have the members. Caedral's still alive and well, however. No tank, though, really. Mowgli gonna get in there. They should be fine to take this one, but Caedral kind of poking his head around, considering can he get into this pit? The smite not too far off.
Who's on zone control? Looks like Jiizuké. Mickey, full health.
Available. Taking down Cabochard. What else can he get? Jiizuké, the sun now comes out. Mickey uses the ultimate. He gets pushed back. No, it's the stolen ultimate coming through. The Baron dropping, and 2 more kills for Vitality.
And they only sacrificed 1. So Vitality, they finally did it. They set up their dominoes. Maybe it took longer than you would have liked, but they got the Baron, their first Baron of LEC Summer, and are now in control to finally pick up a win.
And I love the party hat. It feels so appropriate for these Vitality, or for this Vitality team, finally able to get something. 13K gold lead, 28 minutes to the game. A valiant defense from the side of exceL, but Vitality simply too far ahead.
Now, I do want to say that this does kind of show some of the communication holes that are still in Vitality. The fact that Cabochard, to set up this play, was walking off of spawn back to spawn. What is happening in comms for Vitality that they couldn't just 100% commit to this type of play from the very get-go?
Bide their time, and in the end, it's the stolen ults from Jiizuké, actually, that really make the difference. Level 16 Sylas, able to take 3 ults over the course of this fight. It's the Taric, the Azir, as well as the Sona, so getting a ton out of a recently nerfed champion, and still 16, a terrifying spot. And sucks to be Mickey in this exchange. That, just getting... He saw his highlight moment, he kills Cabochard, and it all goes south.
It's not feeling great for Mickey in this game.
2-4-1, 2-3-1 on the top side of the map, 0-4-3 on the bottom side. exceL definitely looking quite routed in this game. Once again, 13K gold. Vitality simply walking down the bottom side of the map with this Baron buff. exceL like a shotgun at this point. 1 more shell left. They either take out their target or they lose the game.
Not having expect here. As soon as they want. If Vitality want, like, this next wave coming in, they could just try to force dive the tower. Like, even if they wipe, what do they lose here?
Very true.
Yeah, that's expects, like, I need to actually get back.
Yeah, definitely needs to pull off. Cannot let 3 inhibitors go down. Definitely smart to give this one up. Need to pick your fights. But Vitality are no pressure. They can just keep using the Varus, the range, the safety of the Tahm Kench to slowly push this one out.
The nice thing is expect kind of picked his moment where he shoved the top wave, so it does eat up a lot of time from Vitality's Baron. So I do like the coordination from exceL to say, okay, we're sending expect top side so he can try to stall out the Baron, because now Vitality need to walk down top side all the way to that inhib, and then he backs at the appropriate time while they also back off from the mid inhib.
Yeah, well coordinated. Jiizuké only continuing to get scarier and scarier, however. 9 stacks on a Medjai's. Stolen Taric, ultimate in his back pocket.
I don't know if he's scary so much as obnoxious. Like, I think that's just Jiizuke's point in this game. He's just abusing different ultimates against them. I don't actually think he's very scary.
I mean, okay, fair. I'll just give you. Yeah, obnoxious is definitely a good word. I just think the combination of Zhonya's on a Taric ultimate is pretty toxic. That's how I would describe it, yes.
He's very slippery. It'll take a long time to kill him, but I think his purpose was kind of distraction, gaining information, walking into blind spaces.
Been doing good. And now he does a lot of damage with that Stolen Sona ultimate. Once again, big cloud, small silver lining. Lich Bane is there for the Sona.
This is the moment.
Oh, they are just going to run in with his Taric ultimate and break the tower. Fantastic use of the stolen ult. exceL now going to have a tough time. Do not have the luxury of a tower to back them up if this is their final fight. Jiizuké taking another ultimate. Making Sylas look so incredibly strong. There's the Taric ultimate. Mowgli now retreating as he gets the ultimate out there, trying to force something. Mowgli now in trouble. He's going to get eaten up by the Tahm. Kench can continue to extend this play. Jiizuké moving forward. That's the crescendo, trying to delete the Sona, but no, the Seraph's race is still there. Mowgli taken down. Cabo on the backside. Attila, though, free firing into the back line. The Varus is untouched. The Runance Hurricane, the Quadra. He wants the Penta. Oh, they're going to give it to him, buying the time. Does Jactroll going to try and take it? They want to move it. Attila, can he get it? Will the team die for it? Go for it. No! Oh, it's heartbreaking. The arrow, it's not enough. In the first win, Vitality will take it, but only the Quadra for Attila. Absolute showing of dominance. Expect is baiting him in.
Do it! Die for him!
They want it. They can't. The coordination isn't there. They'll take the win. Vitality, first win on the board.